G'day, this is Lyndon from Have a Go YouTube channel. I've got a problem with my 2010 PK Ranger. This is my work ute. It's got a wobble in the steering. Anywhere between 60 90 k's an hour, take something in the road, unsettles it, get a wobble. It's not massively dangerous, just unsettling. Okay, I've been to mechanics, I've been to suspension and steering specialists. They've been under the ute, they've used pry bars on every bar under the ute, under the front of the ute you can find. No movement, nothing that would cause such a thing. Hit the forums, they all said wheel alignments, wheel balances, true load balancing on the tyres, done all that, put new tyres on. That fixed it for a bit, but then it's come back again. Alright, let me show you what I mean. Okay, so this is what I mean. When I move the steering wheel here, you can hear the clunking for starters. And down here on the front wheel, you can see how much I'm moving the steering wheel before the wheel actually starts to turn. That is the problem. The answer is the steering box. Okay, so there's a shaft that comes down from the steering wheel, and there's a shaft that comes down to the axle to do the steering. Those cogs, after time, wear out, or it gets loose. But there is an adjustment, and this is what I'm going to show you, and this will fix the problem. Let me show you where the steering box is, and then what we're going to need to fix it. Okay, so obviously this is the battery, and the steering box is directly under the battery tray. So we need to take this out. These are the tools we're going to need. We're going to need normal ring spanner, 17. You'll also need, if you're doing this for the first time, a 12mm ring spanner as well, because you need to crack all the bolts. Okay, so ratchet ring spanners are good too. Makes things so much quicker in tight spaces. You're going to need a 10mm socket, high wall, 12mm socket. A ratchet will do. I love using power tools, and you're going to need a 3/8 drive on that. Let's get to work. Connect your 10mm socket, high wall. Disconnect the battery first. Always negative terminal first. Here it is here. Put it on. Take the terminal off, get it out of the way. Positive terminal. Again, get it out of the way. Battery clamp. Undo it a little bit. Undo this one nearly all the way off the shaft. See, it's right at the top. So now you have to push that one down, and you need to spin it because it hooks under the battery tray. There it is there. Okay, so now that whole thing is loose. Comes up, just tuck that away out of the way. Like that. Pull the battery out. Up. Down. Now here, you're left with a plastic drip tray. And then here is the battery tray. So, seeing as you got the 10mm socket straight on here, let's start with these. There's 4 10mm bolts here and 2 12mm. 10mm bolts first. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bolts out of the way. Change to 12mm socket. And get the 2 12mm. 1, 2. Bolts out of the way. Lift the battery tray out. put it out of the way. Now, let me show you where the steering box is. Turn it off for a second. Okay, so this is the battery tray bracket, and this is the steering box. The adjustment is just in under here, under this bracket. So this is the next step of getting to the steering box adjustment. There's 2 screws here. There is 1 screw there and 1 screw there. They are 12mm bolts. This is where you're going to need your 12mm ratchet ring spanner or a normal ring spanner, because sockets you can't get in there. I've tried all sorts of ways. I've also tried using power tools. No. Okay, here we go.
First screw.
Stop. We're just extracting these 2 screws here, working on screw number 1. Bolt. Like I say, when you first do these, you're going to need to crack them with a normal ring spanner anyway. They're so tight. I had a lot of troubles the first time I did it. Number 1. Two. And the bracket is out. Okay, so this is the steering box adjustment. That is a 17mm nut, and that is where you're going to need a flat blade screwdriver. Okay. First we need to crack this nut. And again, if this is the first time, you would have to use a normal ring spanner to crack it. Okay, now that that's loose, just make sure, I'm going to turn this over ready to do it up. This is where the flat blade screwdriver comes in. Screw it clockwise and keep screwing until it stops, which is now. Then back it off a quarter of a turn, because you don't want to over tighten it. That causes troubles. Hold the flat blade screwdriver while you do the nut up. Okay, and you need to do this up tight whilst holding the middle screw. I'm going to get the proper ring spanner on there now, just to nip it up nice and tight. And one more, because this is something you don't want to come done. So tight down here, you can't get it very well. And that's as much as we're going to get it. So that's the adjustment done. All we need to do is put it back together, and that's it. Alright, let's put it back together. Screw number 1 started. Screw these all the way in. The least you need to do with the spanner, the better. Okay, that's there. Screw number 2 in. Very tight down in here, which is why these ratchet spanners are so good. Number 1 fully tightened. Oh my god, I just broke a nail. Okay, battery tray bracket sorted. Now for the battery tray. Make sure all of your holes are lined up, so your 4 10 mils and your 2 12 mils. Put the 10 mils in first. And you just need to start these ones. It's 2 in. 3. 4. Now for the 2 12 mils. 1. 2. We have the 12 mil socket on first. Let's do these up. 1. 2. Change to 10 mil. 1, 2, 3, 4. Replace the plastic tray. Just sits in there like that. Battery. Battery holder. Turn the hooks under the battery tray. Screw it down enough to hold it in place. You've still got the 10 mil on, so a little bit there, a bit more there, there, there. Okay, positive terminal. There, negative terminal. So here we are, all fully reassembled. And now let's see what this has done. So now when I turn the steering wheel, you can see the front wheel moving directly. No clunking, no play. So that is a direct response from my input from the steering wheel to the front wheel. Problem solved. This is something I couldn't find on the internet anywhere. Mechanics didn't tell me, suspension specialists didn't tell me. Mind you, we are in a country town, so that might not have helped, but this is what I worked out, and it has fixed the problem. I have been for a drive in this previous. I just did this for demonstration purposes so that you guys would know how to fix this yourselves and save yourself hundreds of dollars, because wheel alignments, wheel balances, wheel load balancing costs heaps depending on where you are. So this only takes 15 minutes if you have the right tools like power tools. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope this helps.